All right, and each cause number according to the plea bargaining agreement in 2022 CR 4829, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 18 months in the state jail facility. The state is opposing your application. And in cause number 2022 CR 4824, it's a cap of 8 years in the prison. The state is opposing your application, and the cases are to run concurrent.
Okay, and how often do you speak to him?
Once a week, possible.
And in your opinion, has he accepted responsibility for what he has done?
Yes, ma'am, he sure has.
And then if he is placed on deferred adjudication probation, do you believe he will be successful?
Yes, ma'am, and I'll make sure of it.
You will help him?
Yes, ma'am, in every which way.
And do you believe the person that he was when he entered Barrow County, would that person have been successful?
No.
But you believe the person he is now will be
Yes, ma'am.
successful?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that is all my questions, Your Honor.
All right, state, any questions?
Yes. You said you provided help to him in the past. How so?
Offering support, talking to him, offering a home. If anything he would need, me and the cousin would be more than able to help him in anything.
Okay, and where?
All right, so here's the thing, everyone, could we all enunciate, open our mouths, speak so the court reporter can hear? All right, because if the court reporter can't hear, it's not being taken down. And honestly, if I can't hear, then it's not being considered.
My voice deep enough?
No, it's not your voice. It's like you need to enunciate.
Yeah, you
All
can
right.
speak a little bit up. I just need to be able to see you.
All right.
That's fine.
Is it better?
There you go.
Okay. Prior to this incident, had he lived with you?
No, ma'am.
Is it your testimony that he's gonna, if he were to be granted probation, he would come live with you?
Yes, ma'am.
And you've known him, you said, for 10 years?
Yes, ma'am. I got that.
Well, so let's see. In 2017, when he was sentenced to 15 months for theft of vehicle, where were you?
At home.
Did you speak with him when he was released from state jail?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So at what point did you speak to him and offer him guidance?
It was maybe about 8 months ago
Okay.
that I found out that he was in there.
Let's see, in 2020, were you aware that he went to state jail for attempted harassment of a public servant?
No, ma'am.
Do you know which family member it was that he assaulted in his misdemeanor family violence assault in 2016?
No, ma'am.
What about the one in 2005, that assault?
No, ma'am. I don't think I knew him then.
Do you know him to have a drug problem?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you aware that he indicated to the PSI officer that he does meth and cocaine frequently?
Yes, ma'am.
Was that known to you prior to this incarceration?
Yes, ma'am.
No further questions on it.
All right.
No questions for me.
All right, thank you for coming in.
Have a blessed day, man.
All right, thank you, you too. All right, the court will hear argument.
Your Honor, the state is asking, we are in opposition to any of his applications for deferred or probation in this matter. This is not a simple vehicle theft. This is not a simple abandoning child that we see very often, Your Honor. This individual, within moments on video, can be seen stealing a running vehicle with people standing right next to it and taking off. There, of course, was an infant in the back of the vehicle, and units were put out, multiple units were put out trying to find this infant. I believe the call came around 9 o'clock. Infant was not located until after midnight.
Do you have the other trial court certification? I'm sorry, state, you may continue.
And the infant was located in the stolen vehicle. The vehicle was parked, the windows were down, and the infant was alone in 40-degree weather in February. The defendant was then located. He denied at first, but then ultimately did admit to stealing the vehicle and then learning that there was an infant inside and then leaving the infant there.
All right, anything you want to say, Mr. Garza?
Your Honor, I made a very bad choice. I wish I could take it back. I can't.
Well, so
I've been-
here's my question for you. And if you want to speak, I'm going to swear you in. The state will have a chance to cross-examine you. I always read everything. I always read all of the stipulations. I understand that you took the car and I guess you decided, hey, let me at least give the baby some food. So you fed the baby and then you leave the baby. Who did you call to tell them, hey, this is where the car is located with the child in it? Did you call anybody?
I didn't have a phone at that time where I was going.
Well, did you knock on somebody's door? Or did you abandon this baby in a location where there were no other human beings around that you could have said, hey, I made a bad choice. I stole this vehicle. Here's the baby in the car. Did you do that? No. Did you contact somebody and say, this is where you can locate the baby? All right. And when you found out that there's a child in the vehicle, that you then drive to a location, because you said you didn't have a phone, did you drive to a location and say, hey, let me bring this child back. I stole this vehicle. Let me return this child. Did you do that?
No, I did not do that.
All right. And then the complainant is saying that she had just cashed her income tax money and had $4,100 in the vehicle. So did you, after you make this bad decision on your part, did you stop and say, you know what? There's a baby in this vehicle. Obviously, this mother has just cashed a check and maybe she needs that to clothe and feed her baby. Did you say, you know what? I'm going to leave this $4,100 alone. I'm going to call somebody or either drop this car off at the gas station with the baby in it, with the money in it, maybe wait for the police and say, I just made some bad decisions. Did you do that?
No, I didn't. I didn't see the money. I didn't search the car.
Well, somebody took the money. She doesn't have it.
And I take full responsibility because once again, that was something I did. I didn't see the money. I didn't have money on me. Only thing I can do, Your Honor, is take responsibility for what I did. And I never meant for any child ever, but it was a bad decision.
But you meant to take a car that didn't belong to you.
Yes. I accept responsibility for that, Your Honor.
All right. Defense, anything?
Yes, I have argument.
Okay.
Okay. So my client does understand he has made a bad choice, bad decision. He has made many in the past. We argue that it is, a cycle that we ask the court for assistance in breaking. Your Honor, in this court asks on a daily basis what is needed, if anything further is needed for the defendant to be successful. And we ask that you allow him the opportunity to be successful out in the community. The victim is asking for restitution. He would like the opportunity to work honestly for that restitution. I have certificates that I would like to present to Your Honor from the maintenance kind of work unit in the Bexar County Jail, as well as letters from, the individuals who run the program.
And you can walk around. Here's my question that I always have. Why does it take for people to be locked up in the jail or to go to prison to do right? Like, why must I have these certificates now? Why were there not certificates beforehand? And how old are you?
40 years old, Your Honor.
All right, you're 40 years old. So why wasn't there a certificate beforehand? Why were you not doing right beforehand? Why is it I'm at the Bear County Jail, now I'm going to Bible study, now I'm doing education services, now I'm doing all of this and participating?
The only thing I can say is, yes, there wasn't before, but I'm trying to work on myself now. I'm trying to work on myself now. I'm 40 years old. I'm
And you have a
too
lot
old
of
for this.
criminal history.
And I do, Your Honor, and I never tried to work on myself. I never did program before. I never tried to do any of that before.
Well,
Yeah.
no, you were on probation at some point. Did you just
2000
blow that off?
2005, Your Honor. I was young at that time. I mean.
All right, so I'm going to help you break your cycle. And whether or not you completely break it is going to be completely up to you. Because on this planet, time passes whether we are working on ourselves or not. So you're going to have to work on yourself. You understand? And each cause number, I'm going to find you guilty. And cause number 2022 CR 4824, I'm going to sentence you to 8 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time served. It's run concurrent with 2022 CR 4829. And cause number 2022 CR 4829, I'm going to find you guilty, sentence you to 18 months in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. This will run concurrent with 2022 CR 4824. There's to be restitution of $4,100 to, you can go off the record. Here's what you need to understand. That was an infant in a car being taken away from its mother, not knowing who is this strange person in the car with me. And then you feeding the child, whatever you're feeding the child, you don't know if the child has any allergies or not, you're feeding the child. And then an adult male, an adult human being leaves a child, abandons them to fend for themselves. Anything could have happened to that child. That child could have froze to death. Do you understand?
Not anybody. I most definitely understand, Your Honor.
All right. So what you need to do is when you go to the prison, you need to get your life in order, because if you do not, when you get out, there's going to be another offense. Nothing I can do about that. My hands are tied. The state made you an offer of cap of 8 opposed. I don't think 20 years would have been anything unreasonable for you to have, because you abandoned a child who cannot take care of him or herself. I don't know if you had the child strapped down in a car seat, but what I do know is that child was abandoned to fend for themselves, and anything could have happened. Anything nefarious could have happened with just some stranger walking around. And then you have a mother who's wondering where her child is.
So,
Hmm?
who left the kid in the car by himself? You're using.
Oh, so now it's the mother's fault for leaving a child. Do I think a mother should?
Car.
Here's the thing. Yeah, a running car so that somebody who didn't own a vehicle could come up and steal it and take their child. Good luck to you.